Stand up tall, reach out your hand, cut through the wind and make a stand. The paint within brings out a map of your own. And as we look down to the compass in hand, is it showing us the right direction? All we know is nobody here knows it for certain. So close your eyes and breathe in deeply and listen to your soul. You see a path in front of you, and you know just where you need to go. Hello everyone, how we doing? And welcome back to my One Piece top 5 moments. This is gonna be top 5 moments from episodes 1000 to 1100, and I think this will be the last top 5 I'm double checking right now, and I didn't double check before the recording started, but I think this will be the last top 5 moments that I do before I'm caught up with the show. Let me just check, because currently as I'm recording this, it shows up to episode 1152. So yeah, this will be the last top 5 moments I do until I am caught up with One Piece, which is fucking crazy. That's insane to me. So if you don't know, for every group of 100 episodes, I've done a top 5 moments video, except for there was a group of 200 that I instead did a top 10 moments for 200 episodes. You can check the playlist and go check out my top 5 moments for all of them, and see, you know, the whole thing, the whole shebang. But today we're doing episodes 1000 to 1100. Now this was a crazy group of episodes. There is some just absolutely huge moments, but it wasn't that hard to put together for me. There were a few tough decisions, I feel like, but overall, I feel like I pretty quickly was like, well, that has to be there, that has to be there, that has to be there, and I figured it out from there. So because of that, we got the 5 that we're doing, and I'm only gonna choose 3 honorable mentions today. Sometimes I'll list like a whole bunch of honorable mentions. Today I'm just gonna do 3. That doesn't mean that there aren't others that like kind of did make my list. Like I've got other things on this list that aren't gonna be mentioned today at all. But I thought, you know, let's like keep it simple and just do like the honorable mentions today will be ones that legitimately are like basically as good as these 5 to me. But I have to just choose 5, you know? So the honorable mentions are like just under 5, just there, you know? And I really wish that they could have been in the top 5 as well, and you'll see why. But anyway, we're gonna jump into this. Make sure to support the video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and go to my Patreon account. With all these reactions, you can watch all of the reactions on the YouTube channel, also on my Patreon account in full-length version. Also on my Patreon account, you get 3 weeks ahead. That's like 20 episodes or so ahead on my Patreon account. So that's super worth it, and you can get a week early of edited videos here on the YouTube channel if you just click the join button. If you join the channel membership, you get 1 week early on edited videos, including videos like this, which will come a week early, or movie reactions, or what, you know, cover story reactions, that sort of stuff. That all comes a week early here on YouTube. Anyway, let's jump into this. This is my top 5 moments from episodes 1000 to 1100. At number 5 is when Shanks arrives at Wano. Okay, Shanks, what are you doing? What's Shanks doing? Why are they cutting back to him? What's he doing? Is he like sending his Conqueror's Haki over there? Like a long range Conqueror's Haki? What the fuck? Yeah, what the fuck? From his boat? He knows that only Shanks can pull that off. Agreed. Oh, look at that art of Shanks. I loved that. So this moment was a crazy moment, and was a moment that like mattered a lot to me. Now, if you watch my videos, you would have seen that I was doing a bingo card, as this was going on, and one of my bingo card things was Shanks arrives at Wano but doesn't meet Luffy. That was one of the bingo card squares, and if I had gotten that bingo square, this was at the end of the arc, it would have given me a bingo. I decided, and you have to go watch the video for my full explanation, but when this happened, there was a specific ruling that didn't quite play out to me that I decided not to give myself the bingo, but it was so close because of this. So I was like super invested in this scene already, just like watching it and being like, oh my god, step foot on Wano, please. Like I was already super invested, but on top of that, it's just a badass moment. Like Shanks showing up, I think like every Shanks appearance in the show is great, right? He rarely shows up. Anytime he shows up, it's really awesome. So that on its own is great. But also like like this was such a badass appearance because he didn't even arrive there. It was quite literally just his presence that was felt, and that I mean that in every use of the word. He used his Conqueror's Haki to hold back an admiral. His Conqueror's Haki, like just from afar, from a huge distance. And I think that's so sick because like not only is it really just like this is how great his aura is that he's so good at aura, he just has to be in the vicinity and you can't do shit, right? But not only that, it really, to me, like showed me like the level that Shanks is. He's a higher level than even I thought, because when I think I said this in the video, but when we get introduced to Conqueror's Haki and like we start to know what it is, and we see Shanks like walking through a ship and people like getting knocked out as he walks through, it's like we're like, oh wow, he's got very strong Conqueror's Haki, right? But as the show goes on and characters are using Conqueror's Haki more frequently, that scene of Shanks like walking through, I think it was Whitebeard's ship, and like knocking people out left and right, it isn't actually quite as impressive anymore because we've seen so many different characters use Conqueror's Haki at that point. So I really liked this scene because it was like, hey, okay, that was like one example of his Conqueror's Haki when he's sort of lazily using it. Let's show you like what his Conqueror's Haki can reach, the heights that it can reach. Maybe it's not even the heights, but like some of the peaks that it can reach. And we see him using it at this incredibly long distance where he's just sniping people with Conqueror's Haki. Like that's so fucking dope. And like not just sniping, like he's doing it to an admiral, you know? It's not just like a dude. That would be cool enough in itself if he could like from a long distance take out just any old dude, right? But this was an admiral that he didn't take him out, but he held him back or whatever, you know? That was just crazy. So it was awesome. It was a dope end to a really long arc as well. It was just great overall. So that's why that is my number 5. At number 4, and this one just fit into the episode cap, Luffy vs. Lucci, the rematch. Are you gonna show him 5th gear? Oh my god, that would be awesome. The heartbeat? Are we gonna hear the drums? Oh my god. This is so cool. Ah! The drums of liberation! You better fear this, motherfucker! This is a sun god! Ah, you scared? Oh no, okay. He's excited. Okay, they are watching. Oh my god, the animation's crazy. I have a big smile on my face when Gear 5's on screen. Oh! So this one I think was episode like... This was episode like 1000... What was it? It was like episode 1099 / 1100 or something. Like it just squeaked in to this this grouping. But really it is so incredible. And I mean maybe it's a recency bias a little bit, possibly, I don't know. But I really think this was so great, and I think there's several reasons. One is that I'm always gonna love Gear 5 stuff. Like, when Gear 5 stuff is gonna be on screen, it's gonna make me super excited. And I will obviously talk about that later in the video. You will see me talk about that at length. But another thing is that, like, this is sort of like a rematch that I didn't know that I wanted. Like, we had Luffy vs. Lucci early in the series. I wouldn't ever say that, like, Lucci was one of the best One Piece villains or anything. I always thought he was fine, you know? He's like, kind of cool. And I think I said this in the videos, but he's, like, kind of boring, but it's part of his character that he's boring, you know? Like, him being so just standard and dull, like, does add a level of coolness to him almost, where it's just like he really is just that efficient and straightforward with how he does things that it makes him seem more ruthless. So I think in that regard, he's a pretty decent villain. And I mean, he was the main villain kind of in basically my favorite saga of the show, which is the Water 7 saga, right? So so because of that, like, and I'm saying favorite saga of the show right now, although Egghead Island right now is kinda going off, so like it's possible Egghead Island makes it for me. Is like the top arc I've seen, but we'll see. But anyway, so like I didn't think I needed a rematch between them, but I think at this point in the show, when I actually like saw this rematch starting, I was like, no, you know what? I need to see how this happens. Like, I kind of want to see Lucci's reaction to how we've grown. I want to see how Lucci's grown. I want to see if, like, have we increased at a faster pace than he has? And the answer is yes, but barely. Surprisingly, barely. Like, it seemed like it was a pretty fucking close battle overall. But I do think we've gotten better than it, because, like, you know, at the end of the first Luffy-Lucci battle, Luffy won, but only just, right? It was maybe that. So then they keep going up and up and up and up. And I feel like Luffy got, like, that much better, you know? So he's, like, better than Lucci. Better than he was better than Lucci before. Does that sentence make sense? The difference in skill is even greater than before, I think. In my opinion, at least watching that battle. But not by much. It wasn't, like, Luffy by no means destroyed Lucci, which is crazy because Luffy's Gear 5 is amazing. But it was another example, it was another chance we got to see an awakened Zoan fruit. Like we had seen Luffy's, and that's it, you know? Like, as far as I know, that's the only awakened Zoan fruit we'd seen. So so it was really dope to see another one. Because I don't think Kaido's was awakened, but I guess someone can correct me on that if I'm wrong about that. But I don't think Kaido's fruit was awakened. Especially because when you awaken your fruit, it's supposed to take over your personality. Except I think in this battle they said for some reason for Lucci it didn't. He was able to make it not take over his personality. But anyway, it was fucking sick. And on top of all of that, and this kind of goes for most of the things on this list, if not all of it on this list, the animation is so good, so incredibly good. Like, this fight specifically just had incredible animation. So that is why that is my number 4. At number 3 is something that I am shocked is not number 1, and that is episode 10-15, Luffy, the Megami Ishitani episode. Oh, this is awesome! Oh my god, this is incredible! Oh, this is such a Megami Ishitani sequence. Oh, these illustrations. Oh! The music! Holy shit! It's Red Hawk! Oh, Red rock! Whoa! So when I watched this episode, I was like, holy shit, this is fucking peak One Piece. I love this. Like, this is amazing. I don't know if we can go up from here, you know? Like, there was just so much in that sequence that I was like, this is incredible. And I think if this was a top 5 moments for direction, if this was a top 5 directing moments, this would be number 1. And Megumi Ishitani, like, if you don't know, is the main, like, director, animator of those sequences. She is just fucking incredible. I love her episodes, and every time I see something she directs, it blows me away. It absolutely blows me away. And this episode was just amazing. Like, I literally cried from hype, which is not something that happens very often. Like, I cry in videos and stuff, but from hype, like, I'm getting so hyped up that I'm crying is crazy. Like, it's just the emotion of, like, how important this episode feels is so great. And it's not even that the moment itself was particularly special. I mean, it was, because it was Luffy hitting not warlord, an emperor, like, properly and doing damage, and, like, you know, it was sick. It was awesome. But it wasn't like, oh my god, this is like a series changing moment necessarily. But they made it into a series changing moment in the way that they portrayed it. And I was just blown away by it. The Kinemon sequence, like, basically everything from the point he goes up to Kinemon, and Kinemon, like, you know, we see him smiling, but then it hard cuts to him being, like, near death on the ground. Everything from that to the end of the episode is, like, some of the greatest TV I've ever seen. It's just so amazing. And yeah, that whole sequence of, like, seeing every step of the journey and having the transitions from one to another, it's so amazing. And I can't believe it's not number 1 on this list, but really there are 2 more moments in this that I feel like, in terms of everything, they hit somehow even harder for me in different ways. So it's crazy that this is number 3 for me. It could be number 2. I think it number 2, like, you know, I could switch them around. Number 1 is stuck there easily, and I think you all know what it is. But yeah, that's why that incredible shit is my number 3. At number 2, and forgive me if my voice is going a bit, my voice is very weak lately. At number 2 is Zoro versus King. That, man, this is like a fucking anime movie climax, but better because it's canon and had so much cool build up. Oh my god, this looks so good! Oh, there was a few frames in there that were gorgeous. I mean, every frame is gorgeous. Oh! They're like dragon flames. That's so cool. So it's kind of surprising even to me that I have this as number 2. I mean, it's like I love Zoro fights. I really, really do. But I feel like they don't tend to make the top 5s for me. And like this fight, I think really what makes it this high, more than anything, is I truly think it's one of the most incredible animated sequences One Piece has ever done, if not the most incredible. I truly think that the animation in all of this sequence blew me away. And I thought, this is, like, I don't know how they did that. And not only that, it was the episode after the Sanji fight, which also had incredible animation. So, just in terms of, like, bang for your buck, It's up there for your money's worth. You've got it. It was an incredible fight. It felt really badass. We got to see how strong, like it showed really, really effectively how strong both Zoro and King were, which I think is something very difficult to portray sometimes, is like when you want to show that both characters are incredibly powerful. Sometimes if you just have them do like a beam struggle, you don't actually show that they're both so powerful. You just show that they're as powerful as each other, which isn't the same thing. You want to be able to show that, holy shit, these two are both like out of this world, but still very close to one another. Which, I mean, I think like some shows will do it. Like, I think it's kind of the famous Dragon Ball thing, even though I haven't seen Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z or anything. I think it's sort of the famous thing where it's like, they're both just like, there's two fighters and they're like teleporting around constantly, right? And it's like the bystanders are like, we can't keep up with the fight. Like, we can't even see what's happening, right? That's their way of showing these two are evenly matched, but on another level to everyone else. But this doesn't do that. It just shows them both fucking fighting their hearts out, and they're both doing incredible moves, and they're both getting hits on each other, and it was incredible. But like, not only the incredible animation, I think if it was just incredible animation, it would be down at 4-ish on this list, I think. Which is still very high just for the animation. But like that, I think I would knock it down a few slots. But I think it was because also it was right after the Sanji fight. And also because King, I think King's just so cool. I think like it was a great character. I think I liked him from the start, and I continued to like him to the end. And his design, like his actual face, you know, the actual man, not the black mask or whatever, the actual man himself has, I think, one of the best designs in all of One Piece. I think. Like, he's up there, which is crazy for me to say as a huge woman lover. Like, I'm gonna be simping for the women, but I think like his design is just so impeccable. I just loved it. I loved every second of it. So I think that was so sick as well, and because of all of that, that's why that is my number 2. So before we move on to what's obviously number 1, let's say my 3 honorable mentions. So here we go. I'm just going through them quickly. First one is the Sanji vs Queen fight. Of course, I wanted to put this on because I put Zoro vs King on there. I wanted to put Sanji vs Queen on here as well. There wasn't room. But it is up there, genuinely. It is a great fight. Second one is Demon Nico Robin. God, I tried so hard to put this on the top 5. I really did. And it was like it was number 5 for a few seconds there, and then I moved it back down for the Shanks thing. But oh my gosh! And the other one, of course, you have to mention the Big Mom fight, because that was really incredible as well. Seeing Law and Kid fight so hard, some awesome sequences there, and seeing the very first Emperor be taken down on screen, other than Whitebeard, I guess, but that we took down. Okay. It's time for number 1. I'm not going to drag it out too much. I think you know. Number 1 is Gear 5 Luffy. Oh, man. I like the directing of this episode already. These cuts are great. Wait, did he just make the ground bounce? Oh. Oh my god. Oh. I like the voice acting as well. Oh my god! Whoa, the voice acting's great. Like, I know it's just Luffy, but it's different. The alternative is Luffy awakening. Oh my god, it was the gum fruit they were talking about. It's like fate itself is keeping the gum fruit. Huh? There's the name of a god. Oh, the sun god? Oh my god. What? What? It's not a paramecia? Nika? It's Sun God Nika? Wait, that's a fucking crazy twist! There's no way. He's had a Zoan fruit the whole time? I didn't consider that at all. Look, it was super obvious. Like, these videos really aren't supposed to be big surprises. If you watch my videos, you can generally tell by my reaction to things, by how much I talk about it, which ones are the standout moments. Like, you might not be able to guess 5 to 3, but generally I think you can guess number 1, maybe 1 and 2. Of what my list is. And most of the time, when there's a new gear revealed, that's high up there. I think like Gear 4 was like an incredible moment for me as well. And Gears 2 and 3 were incredible for me as well. Like, I love Luffy unleashing new gears. And this might be the final time we see a new gear from Luffy. So that was really, really incredible, just getting a new gear on its own. But there's a few things that I think were so amazing about all of this reveal of Luffy Gear 5. One thing about it is that throughout the whole show, since I started One Piece, around when I started One Piece is around when Gear 5 happened in the anime. Like, it lines up kind of, right? And so, like, as soon as Gear 5 happened in the anime, I saw every single person in the world posting about it. Just everywhere. I saw it everywhere. And so I knew what Gear 5 looked like from the beginning. And so throughout the entire show, what I had thought was, I have been spoiled on Gear 5. Like, I know what Gear 5 is. It kind of sucks. But that, you know, I got to deal with it. I just got to know that Gear 5 is coming. And I said in my videos constantly, of course I know what Gear 5 looks like. Of course I know about Gear 5. I know Gear 5 is coming. I know about when Gear 5 happens. So because of that, like, there was a bit of disappointment in that, like, this would have been really awesome if I didn't know it was coming. And yet I do know it's coming. So it's not going to be as exciting when I get there. But fuck, dude, I was wrong. It was so exciting. And it wasn't just so exciting because, like, oh, I'm finally gonna get to see what all the fuss was about. It was exciting because there was a reveal attached to it that I wasn't spoiled on. I thought Gear 5 would, like, maybe I thought his fruit would have awakened. Maybe. Like, I think maybe I speculated that at some point, or at some of those points. I don't even remember what I talked about it anymore. But I thought that it was just gonna be Luffy goes into an even more powerful state. Maybe he puts Haki into him in a certain way that his hair turns white, and then he just is better. He's just stronger, and that's, you know, whatever, right? I just didn't know. I didn't know that what would happen is we actually find out that the elders were like, oh, fuck, this fruit's about to awaken, and we don't want it to awaken because it's really dangerous, because it's not actually the Gum fruit, because the Gum fruit doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. There's no Gum fruit. It's actually a Zoan fruit, and it's a Zoan fruit that's about to awaken, and when it awakens and it takes the personality of a sun god, the sun god Nika. So Luffy, as part of his fruit, turns into a god. Like, it was this, like, crazy sequence of, like, oh my god, this is what this is? Gear 5 this whole time was this incredible reveal? And I didn't know that was coming. I didn't know that. But now that it's happened, it's like,
it just changes so much in the series. So I just loved that feeling of like getting that reveal, a reveal that set up from episode 1, like whether or not it was planned that far back, but it has been set up that far back because that's when we find out about the gum gum fruit, you know, like we hear straight away about the gum gum fruit, and then people telling me after the episode all of the sun imagery throughout the entire show and all of the hints that went up to it, and the fact that he's fucking sailing on the Thousand Sunny and he's the sun god Nika, but his ship is a big sun. It's a big sun, and he's the sun god. It's like everything was incredible. On top of that, just like, you know, the whole like Joy Boy has returned, and the drums in his chest. Like that, the sequence, just like you're hearing the drums the entire time, is so great. I've talked about how Oda like walks a fine line between silly and serious, and this is that at its peak. Gear 5 is like the perfect riding the line between silly and serious. I've never seen it done better in media ever. I think I can say that confidently. I don't think anything has ridden the line between silly and serious as well as that has. Ever. There's a lot of stuff out there that rides that line well. There's a lot. And I love it when series can do it perfectly. But like One Piece at its peak does it the best, and Gear 5 is the best example of it. Because it is both ridiculous. I mean, he's doing cartoon things. His eyes are popping out of his head. He's like screaming constantly and laughing at everything. And like, you know, when he punches into Kaido, it like presses his face out from the front of his face, you know? Like, it's just, there's so many like crazy funny cartoon things, and we're hearing the Looney Tunes sound effects. But also, it's like a huge reveal, and it's showing how powerful Luffy is, and like, I'm hurting my throat talking about it because I'm that excited about it. I truly love Gear 5. I think Gear 5 is one of the coolest fucking things in this series. And I'm so happy that I love it as much as I do because of how much I had a build up to it, how much I knew it was coming. And it not only didn't disappoint, it exceeded my expectations on every level. So that is why that is my number 1. So thank you all for watching my top 5 moments from episodes 1000 to 1100. Make sure to support the video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Next time I do one of these videos, if I do another top 5 moments video, which I'd love to, but like if that happens, it's not going to be for a while. It's not going to be for a long time, surely, because like that. Because I'm almost caught up, and the show is gonna go seasonal soon. Like, man, it'll be a while away. But anyway, stick around, subscribe to the channel, go to my Patreon for full-length early access and exclusive videos. But I will see you next time. Goodbye.